This presentation is just a short explanation of our Module 1 assignment this week. It is a different type of assignment than what we've had before, a little more interactive, a little more real life, truth be told. But it's a little bit involved, so I wanted to just explain a little bit, hopefully to answer some questions before they come up. Now, for this assignment, you are basically, the essence of it is, you're going to be analyzing the strategy of the company that puts these racks of brochures into hotels. Okay, we've all seen these when we go to a hotel. There's these racks of brochures. We almost certainly have not even paid attention to them as a business. It's more just been, oh, a bunch of brochures, and we grab them and whatever else is happening. This is a company that's very, very interesting when it comes to strategy. Enough so that they will change the way you think about businesses having to be risky to be successful, which people are often saying about entrepreneurial ventures. So, I want you to stop by a hotel. There's a whole bunch of them that are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you don't even really need to talk to the people at the front desk other than to say, do you know where your brochures are? If you can't see them sitting there in the lobby. There are going to be some that don't have them, but not very many. You're probably the first one you walk into is going to have one of these. What I want you to do is, number one, count all the brochures. You'll use that later in your calculations. And then look, somewhere on this rack, somewhere, there's going to be a phone number, most likely, of the company who actually places them here in the hotel. They do not belong to the hotels. Another company places them here. Then you're going to call them. Now, if you can get someone to answer the phone, and that is not a guarantee, actually, you might not get anyone on the phone, which in and of itself is interesting. You're going to ask them these 4 questions. How much does it cost to put a brochure in the rack? You're posing as a prospective client, or you can just say you're a student. How many hotels would that fee include? So if I paid for it, how many hotels would my brochure get into? How often do they check on the brochures, and how many cities does that company that you get on the phone, how many do they cover? Now, depending on how much information you get, that'll kind of determine how lengthy your analysis is going to be, but get as much information as you can. Then you're going to write me an analysis of this company. Remember, this is a strategy class. So I'm trying to get you to think about, what is this company doing? How does it make money? Are they making enough money to make it worth it? And how easy would it be for me to come in as a competitor and take them out? All right, just from that perspective. So some things to consider. How much money would you be able to bring in on a monthly basis if they're completely full? That's why you're counting how many are in there. All right, and you just assume whatever rack you see is the norm. How much would you have to spend on the infrastructure, on employees, to keep this going once it's up and going? Not to make the initial sales, not to make the initial racks, but just once it's up and going. How much do you have to spend? How many employees? How much in infrastructure? Do you need a warehouse? Do you need a truck? What do you need? How much time would you, as the founder, as the owner, need to put into this company once it's set up? Okay, once those brochure racks are full, how much time do you have to spend on it? Then, the really interesting one, how easy would it be for a competitor to come in and steal those locations away, to push you out of a chain of hotels that you had set up? Now, don't just answer easy or not easy. Explain how you think a competitor would come in and knock you off of this particular pedestal. Okay? This is to get you thinking strategically, and to take something simple like this and figure out what the strategy is. Now, I did not pick this because I wanted something simple and I happened to be in a hotel and stared at the brochures. No, I've discussed this in many business classes. This is a surprising little company, and it's not that little. Okay, if you or I owned this, we would be sitting in somewhere tropical with a drink in our hand sitting on the beach. That's how much money these companies bring in. Okay, see what you can figure out about it. Analyze it. Try and figure out what they're doing and how they're doing it and how you would do it better if you get that far. Okay, if you can't get a hold of anyone, because that is a real possibility, email me and I can give you some numbers to play around with if you can't get a hold of anyone. Okay, have a good time with this. It is meant to be interactive, to give you some real ideas on this, and contact me with any questions. Thanks.